Hi guys, it's me, Trudy Lee. I just wanted to tell you guys a story that you might enjoy. It's a story about a dog. If you guys are dog lovers, you'll probably enjoy this story, but if not, you can pass, go to some other story. Go to a different YouTube. You don't want to hear this one. This is a very interesting story. I have lots of interesting things that have happened in my life, and I'm going to make some stories about them as it goes along. But for today, this story that I have is about a dog. A dog. It was a family dog that we had. It was a border collie, long-haired border collie. Think Babe, right? The story of Babe. That beautiful long-haired border collie. This border collie looked a lot like that. He was really, really beautiful, and it was my daughter's dog. I think she turned 10 years old, I believe. That was on her 10th birthday, I think. I may be wrong. It may have even been an early Christmas gift. I can't even remember anymore. It's a long, long time ago. This was probably, gosh, oh, it was a long time ago. It was almost 30 years ago that this happened. When we first got the dog. And my daughter named him Bishop. So his name was Bishop, and he was a black and white border collie. Gorgeous, gorgeous dog. Very, very smart. We loved him so much. He was so smart and so good. We could leave him in the house all day long. He would never, use the restroom in the house or anything. He was just a perfect dog. He was smart. You could tell him, go get your leash. You could, he was super smart. He knew anything that you told him. He basically knew what you were talking about. Anyway, after we had had him for a few years, we moved to a different home. We built the house that we're at now, and this was, I think it was like 18 years ago. We built this house, and we moved in with our pets, and we brought Bishop. Bishop was here, and I don't know if we hadn't been here that long. My daughter was home from college. She was visiting one day. It was on a weekend because she would come home for the weekends. We live in Texas, and she went to A&M. She would come home on the weekends, and she was home visiting, and I was lamenting about the dog. She had a little poodle, and it never shed or anything, but this border collie, he was shedding like mad. And I was vacuuming and cleaning, and it was a brand new house, and I was trying to keep it clean, and I was frustrated that it was dirty, and messy, and I was frustrated and vacuuming. And I told her, I said, when this dog is gone, I will not miss him. And I mean, I said those words, and within minutes, somehow the door was a little bit open. Our front door was a little open. It was a little bit ajar. And he pushed his nose. He heard a UPS truck coming, and that whining diesel engine used to drive him nuts. It would just drive him crazy. He always wanted to chase after it, but he was always in the house. He couldn't get to it, So he heard it, and the door was just a little ajar, and he nudged it open, and he went after the UPS truck and just ran right out in front of him, and it ran him over and kept going. And he was dead up on the road. I mean, you just can't believe how horrible. My heart was just like a stake in my heart. I could not believe it. Oh, it was right before Christmas this happened. This happened a couple weeks before Christmas, 10 days or so before Christmas. My daughter, oh my gosh, she was just devastated. I mean, it was just so incredibly sad and horrible. And the UPS driver, he didn't even stop. He didn't even stop, and we were all screaming and ran out there, and he just kept going. But he had a delivery next door, and guess what? Next door, that's my daughter's house. And I just ran over there, and I lit into him. I said, what is wrong with you? What decent person are you that you wouldn't stop to see if the dog was okay, or, to say, I'm sorry I ran over your dog? mean, obviously he didn't want to run over the dog, but he did. Not, maybe it wasn't his fault at all. The dog ran out towards the wheel of his, truck. But he could have stopped and said, "I'm so sorry," or something, just like, "It's all in a day's work." I called UPS and they basically told me, you're fucking out of luck, lady. Tough shit. Should have kept your dog in the house. So nobody gave a shit. Nobody said they were sorry. Nothing. So we were just broken hearted. It was the saddest thing in the world. I mean, I couldn't even go look at him. I never saw him dead. I couldn't go look at him. I was just choked with emotion, and I couldn't go. And my husband and my son-in-law, they dug a grave for him in our yard, and I couldn't go out there until he was completely covered. They covered him with some plastic and all. I couldn't go out there until they covered him. And then my daughter, all the things that she had bought him, it's hard to talk about it. All for Christmas, she put it in his grave with him. She put all his new leash and collar and all. I don't know if she put a collar, but she put some of the new things. I think she took his collar off him, and she has it. But all the presents that she bought him, she buried it. She buried him with them. So, oh my God, it was horrible. It was horrible, horrible, horrible. And I kept telling her that dogs come back to you, because I believe the animals will come back to you. So I kept telling her, this dog's going to come back to you one day. He'll come back. Don't worry. He's going to come back. And she was so sad and brokenhearted. And she kept telling me, when's he going to come back? How will I know? When? Well, probably, 6 months or maybe even a year after that, she moved out of the house. She was an adult, and she moved out of the house, but not very far from us. She moved actually down the road from us, so she wasn't too far. And one day she calls me and she said, "Mom, this little dog, he's hanging around my apartment door, and I want to know if you'll take care of him for me. I've been taking care of him, but I have to go to work. I've got to go do this, that." She asked me, "Could you take care of him for a couple of hours?" Or her. It was a her. And I was like, "Okay, as long as it's just a couple hours, I'll take care of the dog." And this dog was a black and white. It was part border collie, but it was short-haired. But it had all the border collie features. And it was about 6 months old, so it wasn't a tiny pup or anything, but it was about around excuse me. It was around 6 months old. Sorry about that. Every time I get emotional, my throat just closes. It just closes. It's a terrible thing, but it just closes. Anyway, where was I? So I said yes, I would take care of the dog, but as long as she wasn't going to be gone too long, right? So she says, "No, go away, bee." That's what happens when you're around a lot of figs and all, and they're falling off the tree. The bees and flies and everything are coming. It's a big fig tree. So she calls me back a little bit later, and she said, "Well, actually, Mom, could you keep her overnight for me?" It wasn't her dog. She thought she could find the owner for it. She thought somebody would come looking for it sooner or later, because it was a young dog. It had obviously run off. So I said, "Oh, okay, I guess so." I don't know. I guess. I wasn't thrilled about it. I didn't really want to do it, but she came over with the dog. The dog was really sweet. And she left and everything. Me and my husband were sitting on the couch. And the dog came up and sat in between our feet. And she just laid her head down, and she just took a big breath. And she just acted like, "I'm home. I mean, so relaxed. She wasn't like a young dog or a little puppy in a strange place. You think they'd go sniff all over the house. No, this dog was like, I'm home. I mean, she just took a deep breath and said, I'm home. And my husband fell in love with that dog that night. He said, let's keep her. I want to keep this dog. Let's name her Macy. And I do believe that that is the, that the incarnation of Bishop came back to us as Macy. And I always wanted confirmation, you know, I was always looking for confirmation. Is this really Bishop? Because it's a female dog instead of a male dog. And, you know, although they're both border collie breeds, how do you know? I mean, this, besides the fact that she just immediately loved us and acted like she was home, and she never acted like she had to go explore and find anything. She always acted like she was home. So I went out to Bishop's grave and I was looking around and I was just thinking, what am I looking for? I don't even know what I was looking for. I was just looking around at his grave and looking around. And I found something on his gravesite that gave me confirmation that this dog was sent from Macy, if not Macy, sent from Bishop, sorry. That was sent from Bishop. If it wasn't Bishop himself, it was sent from Bishop. She had a paw print on the side of her. It was a perfect little paw print. I have to get a picture and show you guys. She had a perfect paw print on her side. She's unfortunately no longer with us either. She died a year ago, this past January. But this is what I found in my garden, and I hope y'all can see it. Can you see this? It's a rock. It was just sitting in the garden. But look at the ear round like that. And look at how the shape and the little nose, the little eye right here. Can you see? This is exactly what Macy looked like when she was a pup, when she was 6 months old. This looks like Macy. She had a little round ear, little nose. And I think that was just a sign to let us know that Macy was meant to be with us, meant to come with us, and that she was the reincarnation of Bishop, because I was looking for a sign, and what a wonderful sign to find. So I would just like to say that if you look for signs from your spirit guides, from your angels, you'll find them. The other side is talking to us all the time. They're putting something in our path, like they're putting a stone in our path, that if we'll open our eyes and look at it, we'll find the answers. I mean, look at that. Look at that perfect eye of the dog, and look at the nose. And I swear to God, I found this stone just exactly like it. I've had it for many, many years. So, we had Macy for a long time. I think she was 13 years old and she died. And that's another story, and that's a tough story. But that's a story for another day. I'll tell that story. But I just want everybody to pay attention to your surroundings. Pay attention. The other side is constantly trying to get our attention. So pay attention. Pay attention. There's signs everywhere. Just open your eyes and be open to them. Just be open. Who would think that you would find a picture of a dog on a rock? Who would think that, you know? But you have to pay attention to the signs. I just wanted to share that story with y'all, and she turned out to be a beautiful, loving, wonderful dog. She was with us for about 13 years. She was a beautiful, beautiful dog, and she was so smart too. She also listened to everything that we said. So she was a lot like Bishop in that way. The only difference between her and Bishop was a little more aggressive, and she was absolutely not aggressive. So, you know, I was worried about Bishop being aggressive. I had a grandbaby on the way, a little tiny grandbaby coming into my house, and it was a little bit nerve-wracking having a really big dog. You know, he was probably about 70, 75 pounds. Having a big dog in the house with a little child, and he he'd never bit anybody or was shown any aggression or anything towards any one of us or anything. But you never know when a little one comes in. So I was a little nervous about it. So I think, he stepped aside and let a sweet, kind dog come in for him. And that all animals are such a blessing, as our children. But we just enjoy them and love them, and they're here for a short time because they don't have any lessons to learn. They just have lessons to teach, and they give us great comfort. So let's enjoy them. Let's treat them well. I just wanted to share that story with you guys. So I hope you enjoyed it, and I have plenty more. Okay. Love you guys. Have a good day. Thanks for tuning in. If you like my story, make sure you push the like. If you want to see the newer videos that come out, push the bell and subscribe. Okay. Thank you guys. Take care. Have a great day. Bye-bye.